Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another running type of chat. And this is going to be a good one because usually these videos, I mean, not just my videos, but videos that you see in general, usually they're talking about how you can be a better runner. Like, how are you going to go out and succeed in what you're doing? Well, today we're going to go from the other side because I think there's also value in knowing what not to do. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you a few things that can really mess up your race. Let's get into it. Thanks for sitting through that intro. And again, that intro is just an invitation for you to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you like what I'm doing. And if you don't want to, well, that's fine too, but I'd love it if you did. Anyway, like always, I did come across an article. Well, I mean, not always Canadian running, but this time, as it often is, I did find an article in Canadian running. And this article is titled, "Want to Tank Your Race? Here's How," with a subtitle of "Sabotage Yourself on Race Day in 7 Simple Steps." Now, of course, listen, these videos are just boring if you don't interact with me. So just to get you thinking before this video goes on, I want to know how you have sabotaged your races. Now, if you want to just drop some generic tips on how to sabotage your race, those are also welcome. But I really want to hear about things that you have specifically done to mess up your race. Now, it's probably going to be in hindsight. You probably didn't do these things intentionally, but whatever it is, did you do something that messed up your race? I want to hear about it in the comments below. And we are just going to be going through this article, and of course I will place a link to this article in the show notes below in case you want to read through it. I'm going to be summarizing it, so I don't know why you'd waste your time. But we're going to get started right off with number one, which is tune up your fitness the day before the race. Because you know what? Sometimes racing, it can really do a number on our confidence. Like, we train all the time, right? We are building up towards this race, and yet we still don't feel confident going into the race. And that confidence is just, it's a product of not knowing what's going to happen, right? We know on race day, we are going to go out and we are going to run as fast as we can. But are we going to meet our goals? Are we going to run a PB? We just don't know. We don't know how we're going to perform on race day. So the best way to get around this is by giving yourself a tune-up run the day before your race. And I'm not talking about a shakeout. I'm talking about going out and doing a workout, maybe running double or triple the miles that you usually do, or just going out and really nailing an interval workout or a tempo run. This is going to give you the confidence you need to crush your race the next day. By crush it, I mean like crush your hopes and dreams of running a good race because you would have expended all your energy the day before. Number two, the second way to tank your race is by sampling some new foods. This is especially easy to do if you're doing a destination race. If you're not staying at home the night before the race, you might be going out, you might go to a new restaurant, you might be in a new country and you're trying new foods. You know, it's not very exciting to stick to what you know. I would say it's probably better to try something new because you're going out there the next day and you're going to be doing something that you don't always do. You're going to be running as hard as you can for the set distance of whatever your race is. So why not try some new foods? You never know. They could really benefit you and make you run faster than ever before. Of course, admittedly, there is a downside to trying new foods, and trying those foods can have some unintended consequences. And if you are unsure of what those race day consequences may entail, let me refer you to my Osaka Marathon race day vlog, where I did have to make a stop in the middle. And look, I know in that race, there were probably lots of factors that contributed to me having to make a stop, but I do think that eating rice for every meal and eating more than I usually do did play a part. Oh, that's another thing. The night before your race, if you are trying something new, why don't you eat a lot more than you usually do? Because there is some logic behind this. You're going to be expending a lot more energy on race day, so you're probably going to need that food. And that brings us nicely to number three. The third way that you can tank your race, and we've already been talking about trying new foods, but with number three, why don't you try a new pair of shoes? And I think we can justify this with the same reasoning of trying new foods. You've never run this race before, or perhaps you have, but maybe you're trying to run faster than you ever have before, and maybe the one reason that you haven't run a PB on this course because you didn't have new shoes. Well, treat yourself and surprise yourself with a new pair of shoes to crack open on race day, because there is nothing like just rolling the dice and seeing if these new shoes cause any blisters, give you any hot spots, or maybe need to be broken in before the race. There is a well-pedaled adage not to try anything new on race day. Well, that's for chumps. What's that thing about insanity, like doing the same thing and expecting different results? That's not you. Mix it up. Try new shoes, try new food. The fourth way to tank your race is to focus on the same arm, same leg. So same arm, same leg is moving your same arm the same time as the same leg. And my legs are under the table, so you really can't see that demonstration. But try it out for yourself. Go out there, run around the block. In fact, no, give me a mile or give me a kilometer, depending on what your measurement choice is. Go out there and run swinging your same arm as the leg moves forward. And I will guarantee that you will not run slower. It's a great way to tank your race early on. The fifth way to tank your race is to go out hot. And I feel like I'm being called out on this, but maybe there's a couple of you out there too that have also maybe gone out I don't know, just maybe a little faster than you planned, maybe a little faster than ideal, and have found that it comes back to bite you. But if you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend it. There's a not so popular running adage of when in doubt, sprint it out. And even though I have run a lot of races in my life, I still have that urge every single time. And I tell you, the worst race for this is the Boston Marathon. That first 5K of the Boston Marathon is a very steep descent. And if you want to get a 5K PB running from Hopkinton to Ashland, I bet you can do it. And if you are running Boston in a couple of weeks, I want you to drop a comment and I want you to commit to me in the comments that you are going to thrash the first 5K of the Boston Marathon. I believe in you. The sixth way to tank your race is not to waste time with those water and fueling stops. And yeah, those things can be a time suck. So if you really want to save seconds in order to waste minutes and perhaps hours later, skip those fueling stops. You don't really need them, do you? I'll tell you why you don't need them. Because you stocked up the night before. That new restaurant that you went to and you ate more than you ever thought possible, the reason you did that was to save that energy. And you can use that energy on race day and you are going to save valuable seconds by not moving over to the side of the road to grab a cup. And the seventh way to tank your race is to celebrate before the finish line. Although I don't know if this is really tanking your race unless you are like a professional athlete and you're probably going to win. But by this time in history, we have all seen enough videos where an athlete has celebrated their win before actually crossing the finish line. And I always find those videos both heartbreaking and incredibly entertaining. So if for some reason there is someone here that is going to win a race, but win a race in such a way that the second place is right behind you, I welcome you to celebrate just a little bit before you cross the line. Like maybe slow down and celebrate and clap for yourself. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Of course, I think that most of us really don't have to worry about that. I know that when I am crossing the finish line, let's just say the Boston Marathon because that is my next race. I know that when I am crossing the finish line, thousands and thousands of runners are going to have crossed the finish line before me. And I'm going to be surrounded by 10s, 20, 30 runners crossing the finish line at the exact same time as me. So it's not something that I personally have to worry about. But of course, if I was counting places and I started to celebrate too early, I suppose I could lose a few of those places. Maybe I'll try that this year, along with trying all those other golden tips for wrecking my race. Now, the silver lining to this video about wrecking your race is that if you do any of them, you have a built-in excuse. And unless you have been living under a rock and you haven't been watching running influencers, we love to make excuses for our performance. All right, guys, if you have made it till this point in the video, of course, I do want to hear about other ways that you could possibly sabotage your race, ideally ways that you have already experimented with and tried. But also, if you have made it till this point, I want you to put the emoji of a big, greasy cheeseburger in the comments. Because for me, at least, I think a big, greasy cheeseburger would be a really solid way to ruin my race. Anyway, drop that in the comments, write your comment, like, subscribe, do what you do, and be kind, be happy, run well. I'll see you in a couple of days.